We get. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the.
Fuck it!
Thank you, Austin.
You have an interloper.
Beautifully timed. Perfect.
I
I guess he can time it perfectly because he's right there.
Yeah, Asto has, because Asto's there, he has the inline. He can.
It's a once in a lifetime opportunity
Yes.
to ruin
Yep.
Jan's live stream in real time.
Can't stop, won't stop me.
Welcome, everybody, to the Unsolicited Opinions podcast. I am your host, the Meerkat Monarch, sometimes known as J.H. Lillevik. With me, as always, is my co-host, Artivous Ira. By my left-hand side is our very good friend, the otter human being, Asto. And,
Hello.
as always, is, or as should be always, is Dr. Evil is with us, and also Deefry. How you guys doing?
Bad.
Yeah, pretty good.
My favorite.
What did you say?
I am.
Wrong question to
Perfect.
ask.
Everything's great.
I am currently in the somewhere between solid and liquid. Thanks to good old British weather.
Oh God, you guys whine about the weather.
Stop
You
melting.
choose to live in
Stop
Britain,
melting,
okay?
pussy.
They say white people have no culture. Fuck that. The British have moaning about the weather. Don't have much else, but we have moaning about the weather.
The Germans
Look,
too.
there's a reason Australians have this term called a whinge and palm.
Because you came from us.
Oh no, it's raining outside. Oh no, it's fucking sunny outside. Whatever will we do?
Oh
Have
no,
another
it's
cup of
only
tea.
cloudy outside. It could rain or it could be sunny. How
Yeah,
horrible.
it's spitting. It's spitting. Get back inside. Do you know, we probably won't talk about this. Did you see there's a petition going around to deport Muslims to the South Georgia Islands? Basically, what we did with Australia, just send them to an inhospitable islands currently owned in the Falklands.
Don't do that. You'll make them like Superman. You don't want to do
Oh,
this.
yeah. It worked so well last time.
I know.
Got a bunch of loudmouth fucking volleyball players.
Anyways, we got a bunch of topics this week. What do we say? We start right at it and begin with Far Cry 5 bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
apparently, Far Cry 5 is happening in America, and a bunch of people are upset because it's using a religious theme for the bad guys. That's what I've gathered.
Yeah.
It's more like they're trying to put forth the stereotype of what they think like the middle states are like.
Okay.
Also,
It's
the-
basically
Rust
like we're going to make a caricature of
Since
what
we
we
have
non-liberals are like.
since we have our Ubisoft expert with us, Asto, why don't you explain the situation, dude?
Well, I think Polygon and Kotaku jumped on the alt-right angle just right off the bat because you see an American flag and that always means alt-right. Every time you see an American flag, it's always alt-right. And apparently they also pretty much ignored the religious angle because there was totally no religion at all in the trailer. None.
No, apart from the guy with sinner scratched on his back in the picture.
Yeah, and the guy who tried to basically convince people with a pistol to join the faith, and but besides that, it was all basically all right, and I think they already speculate that the final boss will be Keck or Pepper. I mean, I think the votes are still close. They are not really sure. I think they're also not really sure if Pepe and
should be
Keck are the
Donald
same
Trump.
or two different enemies. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing about the Far Cry series. They take an area and they exaggerate certain aspects of the area out of proportion to what they actually are. I mean, look at
South Africa is not actually swarming with tigers.
Do you?
Yeah, Far Cry 4.
Are you
The
saying
mountainous area around Nepal is not actually swarming with, drug crazed terrorists.
Are you saying they don't
Yes.
all have hallucination on islands in the Himalayas?
Yeah, I mean,
But-
it's,
Well, that's the thing. The wildlife in that area in fucking Montana is not diverse enough to be interesting in terms of gameplay.
Well, they will put probably tiger and killer wolves and killer boars and killer bears.
Like wolves is probably the biggest threat in terms of animal you could think of in that area.
They will put bears in it because why not? And they probably will put crocodiles in it because it's Ubisoft.
There aren't any crocodiles in fucking Montana.
They don't care. I mean, there are also not at every 500 meters a fucking tower.
Like if they did this shit in Florida, that would work. But
Well, what if the expansion pack is in Florida?
people are
you mean
forgetting
Far
this is
Cry
supposed to be
6?
fiction.
Far Cry 6.
yeah, well, that's the thing.
Far Cry
Like,
says
one of-
revenge
what-
of the pensioners.
The problem with Ubisoft games in general is they're the same game repackaged with another thing.
Are you saying?
And
Are
I
you
think,
talking about Far Cry Wildlands or Far Cry The Crew or Far Cry Assassin's Creed?
Well, I think some people have been saying that the villain being a Christian cult leader and sort of the patriotism style being a bad guy is cliche. Now, I'm not sure we've really had that many that take the sort of the patriotism thing to quite such an extreme, in a bad way. You know what I mean? We've had Christian cults in the Outlast series recently. Some people were suggesting BioShock Infinite as kind of a parallel. I was wondering what your thoughts were.
Yeah,
Because I don't know much about this topic.
I think for the most part, it's not like this is a new concept. In fact, it's kind of played out. Even in this year, there's been 3 major games that have the concept of, you're lost in an American place that's going completely crazy. And
Dead Rising?
yeah, it's not a new concept, and
No.
Well, it's Ubisoft. There are no new
Yeah.
concepts with Ubisoft.
yeah, it's not even a new concept with Ubisoft. And so now it's like, okay, I would just like to point out that it's obvious that this is going to be caricature because they have these
Mhm.
white hill folk with fucking hipster haircuts, for one thing.
Yeah.
Fashy.
Hey, I'm gonna
Yeah.
enjoy that because I can go and kill the hipster fucks.
It's like there might be
I
a
don't
silver
think these are the
lining.
kind of hipster fucks that are going to be eating avocado toast before they try and kill you.
I don't care. In my mind, they are. You know that scene with from Team Fortress 2 with the pyro? Yeah, in my mind,
yeah.
it's all going to be sunshine and rainbows. And
Do you know what it could be?
in reality,
Like,
it's
they
going to
could
be
bad guys.
flamethrowers.
You're gonna have to fight inside of a Whole Foods.
Yeah, they are
They
all
could be
vegans.
they could
And
they could be
take
the
their
college
diet
students
very
from Tucker and
seriously.
Dale versus Evil.
I'm
God!
imagining mods for this game, and they're going to be glorious.
Could you
yes.
imagine? I want a Tucker and Dale versus Evil mod. That would be hilarious.
Just a Tucker and Dale versus Evil video can be pretty cool.
Where you have to avoid college kids that keep killing
Yeah.
themselves.
It's
Yeah, so
Ubisoft.
they'll
There
probably
will
be fairly
be
quick
no
time event heavy.
mods.
There's that.
Well, there's always the the first day DLC where you get to
Because it's Ubisoft.
Yep. So there might be some sort
Yeah.
of.
That's
You
that's
need to
kind of why I
pre-order
don't.
to get all
that's-
the San Francisco hipsters involved in the game.
That's why that's why I'm kind of like I don't care about this because why are you buying an Ubisoft game anymore? Stop giving them money. It's clear
The
that
only
they
game
don't.
I buy from Ubisoft is the Far Cry series because
Yeah,
I
that was
enjoy
the
Far
last
Cry series.
redeemable series they had, and they've kind of milked that friggin' dry.
All right. So you think this one will just be,
Oh, but
like you said earlier, played out?
But wait, didn't you hear the new? Didn't you listen to the Ubisoft conference with the new Ubisoft strategy? Now they will release fewer games with more DLC.
That's what we wanted.
Yeah, because that is how you get people to like you. No, I mean, to be serious,
Working on the mobile industry.
I think with Rainbow Six Siege they actually did a good thing, because that is on the track of like being maybe even the next Counter-Strike. And I think For Honor is also pretty good supported. But I think all the single player games are pretty much shit.
That's the. I've even found myself. I don't think I've played a AAA single player game in Christ knows how long. Not properly anyway.
What?
So I played
You
a bit
didn't play The Witcher?
That's not a AAA. The Witcher is a good game. It's an excellent game, but it's not a AAA. It's not among the AAA developers.
I have the trilogy lined up to play.
For 5 minutes to kill Jan.
I didn't take anything away from it. In fact, I added to it because I said,
Mom and Dad, stop fighting!
No, I just find myself playing Overwatch with you guys, or a few hands of Hearthstone before bed, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I just don't have as much time as I used to.
There's that fanboy.
There's nothing wrong with being a Blizzard fanboy.
Yes, there is.
Not fanboy.
It's far
I have
superior
to
to being a
agree on this.
Ubisoft fanboy.
There are no Ubisoft fanboys. I'm very, very sure. I mean,
They're indefensible.
there are not enough drugs on the planet to be a Ubisoft fanboy.
I don't know. It's just it's one of those things where I think Ubisoft's one of those companies that should just kind of go away, in my opinion. They're terrified to make new IPs and make new ideas, and it's generally just the same stuff over and over.
I think they was For Honor and Rainbow Six Siege. They actually did good things, but with all the rest, all their single player IPs are pretty much the same since Far Cry 3, and that's fucking bullshit.
Again, people are playing For Honor for the multiplayer.
Yeah, like Rainbow Six Siege. I think Rainbow Six Siege don't even has a single player campaign.
Yeah, it just seems to be like a real death of single player campaigns these days. Stop wrecking the house, Jan.
No, that was not my fault. That was Asto.
What?
Asto has found the stash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Asto found the. Asto brought this for me. A beautiful bottle of whiskey. That was very nice.
Oh, good man. A band of whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
but it's a situation where a lot of people are trying to make this game about their favorite beef. It seems like a bunch of SJWs are making it about. Oh, it's definitely about social justice. Yeah, because the bad guys are the white guys.
Oh, and I think there's going to be one figure where people say, "Oh, that's Trump."
Oh, okay.
That's why I said the final villain, whoever it is, they're going to try and put Trump's face on it in terms of the culture.
I'm still voting for Kek.
All right. Well, would you actually?
A giant frog's just gonna come out of nowhere. You guys.
Well, that's the thing. You're talking about a literal god there, or is it just going to be like an avatar? Okay.
I mean, Far Cry. The main protagonist of Far Cry is usually some druggie who has hallucinations, so it would fit.
Big ass frog.
Yeah, but they also, as far as I understood, they're making the main character customizable. Which is breaking with tradition in Far Cry. It's breaking with tradition severely. Because they've always had this main character with a story behind it, and now they're not going to do it. So they're going to go the Bethesda way instead and have a story of a customizable character, which is hopeless.
Oh, I see. So it's like a blank slate kind of thing. Or is it does it still have a character and... it's just like the appearance of it is customizable, or is it a full
This one?
like Fallout kind
This
of,
one, but-
like you customize and sort of superimpose your own backstory onto it.
No, thank you.
Okay.
What are we dealing with it?
Yeah, it's basically Mass Effect, like Skyrim, like this kind of shit.
Oh
Right,
god.
okay. So,
Oh god, don't Andromeda it. Don't do it.
Do it! Just do it!
well, I think they'll be hiring a better like animation designer than.
I don't know. Have you
Jesus.
seen some Assassin's Creed games?
Yeah, well, that's a glitch. Though. Fucking
Well,
skeleton
I think-
face.
Uh-huh.
They live kind of bullshit. For the
I mean-
cutscenes.
I mean, I hope they get the writers from Unity because Montana sounds as sounds like they can really bring the boring
fucking
lifestyle
Montana.
and the boredom of the state.
Like it'd be different if it
Just
was
take a
like
story
say
that was
Colorado. You know, if it was like Denver, but it's Montana.
Uh-huh.
It's mountains and deer.
Maybe that's what
In
they wanted a
trees.
blank slate kind of thing.
Yeah,
Could you
but
imagine if they put it through like Silicon Valley or something?
I
That
mean,
would,
they
see, that would be interesting. That's the thing, is they picked a location because they thought it was, it's desolate and out of the way, and it's like,
Yeah.
there's not
They
much
should
there
set
that
it
you could work
in a
with.
fictional scenario where California is trying to gain independence.
what? Yeah,
and
why
you're
wouldn't
on the
they go-
borders of California. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, but well, every game has a development time of three years. So back when this was started as an idea, I'm guessing that they may have meant
Something
this
in the
as a
ropes
way
for
of
that.
showing the. Wasn't it 2-3 years ago there was like this this group of people in that area running around and taking over like federal offices and so on? Am I misremembering that situation completely?
Yeah, that was I believe that was in Texas.
Was that in Texas? I thought it was in the area around
It's
Montana.
been some years, man. I'd have to look it up, but
Yeah, we don't do research for this goddamn show. God damn it.
So
What do you
we'll not put,
expect
like,
of
an
us,
obscure
people?
Thing, recent American political history. Not quite what I had in mind, but it was coming on.
Just
Okay,
remember,
yes.
this channel is not about standards, so
clearly.
Nah.
Yeah, well, since we're on the
Since we're on standards,
yes. How about the Wonder Woman screening in what was it? Was it was in Austin. In
The
Austin,
Alamo
Texas.
Draft House.
Where
well,
Yeah.
anyone that's in favor of that should not be a person complaining about gentlemen's clubs,
no,
Does that?
they shouldn't. At all.
because it's rank hypocrisy for these people to claim equality, feminism is equality, and all this sort of shit, and then go, "Oh, that's a good idea. We should have women-only things."
Well, this is the thing. Is like you can scream hypocrisy until the cows come home, but they have oppression narrative. Like it's okay when we do it because you have all the power. So was it Skeptor calls it feminist prime directive?
Yeah, but if we had all the
Point to
power, how
men in
come
power.
gentlemen clubs have been invaded?
My thing is they did this purely for the sake of publicity.
Probably.
Yeah, it's
Well,
virtue
I-
marketing.
It's
Which
it's
makes me not
virtually
want to see the
marketing.
film.
Which is a shame because it looks good.
Because the problem with the marketing
I can pirate it in a
is
few months.
the problem is
care.
it's they're going to get a lot of ticket sales for women to show up just to be like, yeah, for that movie, for that screening. They'll have that, but you're going to lose tickets afterwards because people will remember that you did that regardless.
It made me laugh. Someone on Twitter saying that women are not marketable. It's like, bitch, you're marketed to 24/7. You are being
Yeah, you're
marketed
nothing
to
but
right now
marketed
with
to.
this. You know,
Like
here
I
is
can't
something
think of
pandering to
any
your
product
gender.
that I can't think of any product that isn't marketed to women almost
Or
exclusively.
by women.
You can get like unisex things, but it's only because they are regulated to shit. And that's
Yeah,
normally
like maybe
beer,
cars. That's
beer
it.
and cars. Is like beer. You're not allowed to put it with any sporting like you can't have it tied too closely to a sporting event in case it implies. This is UK standards. Implies it increases sporting ability. You can't imply that it increases sexual proclivity. You can't imply that it makes you more handsome and anything like that. And it's just a real tightrope walk. It's quite the same with cars. That's why you get all these adverts that are real, just like bullshit abstract stuff. Just art going on in the background, and it's just driving around bare corners and things like that. It's just because there's just so many obstacles to get around,
Yeah,
Well,
but
it's like
can we
car
now?
advertisement in Australia, they decided that you can't show a car driving fast because it might encourage young men to drive fast in their car. And I'm like, that's bullshit. They're going to drive fast in their car because they like to drive fast in their car. It's got nothing to do with the ads. You're implying humans are less than monkeys.
Yeah,
I mean, so many, like, even with the YouTube stuff about how blocking adverts in case people associate the advert with the YouTube video because they don't know how the fucking internet
doing
works.
that are those people.
Yeah, I mean, how stupid, like, they seem to think that adverts have this amazing power over people,
They do.
I've never seen it myself.
They do.
You sure?
Yeah.
I never see, or I don't feel it to the same extent. And I know there's that cop-out argument.
Dude, look at the Kardashians.
yeah.
I
want you to argue for human intelligence and then explain to me Kim Kardashian.
Well, Kylie Jenner.
But she didn't see. Yeah, she didn't.
Well,
just,
okay,
like,
then
decide to get.
I'm going to argue for Darwinism then, and we shouldn't be stopping people from being idiots and killing themselves
exactly. I see that. Yeah, that's the argument I want.
Either way, I mean, either way,
don't make it illegal for people to wear their seatbelts.
Yeah.
Don't make it illegal for people to not wear seatbelts.
We're getting off topic again. We're getting off topic.
Take the warning labels off.
I want to get back to the
that's
Wonder
just
Woman
like that.
bullshit.
This is somebody. If anybody intelligent in marketing would have told the Alamo Drafthouse, you shouldn't do this because you're going to piss off people. That
I think they might have been told you should do this because it will piss off people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's going to help for these showings, but you're going to lose people afterwards because the Alamo Drafthouse is.
It's probably they were told, "Hey, DC movies are crap," and they have been crap.
Oh no, this movie isn't going to sell well at all.
And this is the only way. This is what they've been told. This is the only way you're going to sell any tickets at all, is to make a big drama out of it.
So people are starting to get burned out on superhero movies to begin with, and the DC movies haven't exactly been stellar.
But drama did work so good for the Ghostbuster film.
Yeah.
Perfect.
See, the difference between them was
if I'm going to say this right. I'm going to say this right now. If they had not tried that whole feminism thing with Ghostbusters and it crashing and burning so epically, they would have tried it with Wonder Woman. That's why the marketing for Wonder Woman doesn't push that shit.
Yeah. That's it. No. Here's the thing. It's not gonna. This screening is not gonna hurt the movie, but it's gonna hurt the Alamo. It's gonna remember the Alamo. They're gonna talk not about the actual fort, but the movie.
I was waiting for somebody to make that joke eventually.
Yeah. It's
that kind of thing where the Wonder Woman movie and all of its marketing has avoided that whole feminism kind of thing because they want people who aren't feminists or anti-feminism to go see this movie because logic in marketing.
Do you think
they saw what happened with Ghostbusters? And then the Alamo Drafthouse apparently didn't pay attention and didn't see their own sales figures for Ghostbusters and thought this was a wise idea.
Yeah. Do you think they shit, what was I going to say? Fuck. Do you think they were a bit spooked that the sort of the side of girl power when they first saw the trailer, like they thought everyone was going to be
I think a little bit.
Protagonist, and instead they went, "It's a Zionist."
Yeah, that's the thing.
Jew is playing Wonder Woman.
It's kind of the same thing where they knew they were going like. When Doctor Strange came out, they knew they were going to get flack for the Ancient One, so they just did whatever they wanted. And I think it's the kind of same thing. Like they tried to do that campaign with like health products, and there was all this backlash. So it's kind of the thing where no matter what they do, they're going to get bullshit. So they're trying to keep it as non-political as possible in their marketing.
Yeah, maybe this is actually pretty softball. Like as far as the directions they could have taken it,
Yeah,
they're always going to find something to get mad at. So you may as well just throw them as soft a bone as possible.
Maybe they paid the Alamo Draft Halls to just take the lightning rod, just be a lightning rod and put it on the roof and be the ones to take all this bullshit.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like you can get upset with the Alamo Draft House doing this, but you could just go somewhere else and see the movie somewhere else.
Yeah.
That would hurt them more than anything. Don't spend your money there anymore. Go somewhere else.
And that's not a bad recommendation at all.
I can't wait for them to try a black-only screening of Black Panther. That should be interesting.
Oh,
Oh, we have a segue.
yeah.
I want them to explain that shit.
Yeah, well, it's...
We're back to segregated movie theaters, baby.
Yep.
It'd be cleaner in the back rows, at least.
Oh. Oh, you had to go there.
Damn
No
straight.
standards on this show.
I don't go
No.
there. The floor's sticky.
That's our
but,
new
you know.
catchphrase. We have no standards.
Well, since
None
we...
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Since
Since
we're on
we...
topic of sticky floors.
Since we are talking about sticky floors, there are a couple of bands that now want to ban the mosh pit. Basically, the ancient and revered way of appreciating punk and metal music is now under threat.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
like,
It's only
certainly.
a threat to them, and people won't go to them ones, or they'll go to them ones, and they'll have quite an unofficial mosh pit that they'll have zero control over. Enjoy.
Yeah. That's the thing. I remember when they effectively banned Wall of Death here in the UK. But they didn't ban people from doing it. They banned the bands from asking for it,
Yeah.
So, which just results in the bands who have songs with huge build-ups before a massive heavy section, like Real Energy Punch, is basically just hinting at it. Like, you're not banning shit, Everybody knows what's up. They just have to dance around the topic.
I just find it a little bit of a. It's
You
a
don't like the
little
mosh
bit of
pit? Don't come into the mosh pit.
Yeah, but
Jesus
it's an ironic thing when punk rock bands are asking people to stop doing the mosh pit because it alienates people. I've never been a part of a mosh pit that hasn't been very welcoming. Everybody fights everybody.
There's actually a place for fucking everyone in the mosh pit,
Yeah.
There's the big beefy dudes are the ones that are just sort of like proper in. They will stay in. There's the little kid who thinks it's an excuse to beat people up. He's normally on the floor and then thrown out of it. There's the sort of protective blokes who are in the ring kind of thing. And if someone wants to walk through, they're just like, they'll just push people away and then just pull the fucker straight across. The guy who ends up on his ass, which is normally me, but then that's how I understood that mosh pits are way more, they are safer than fucking nightclubs,
Yeah.
Just like if you go on your ass in a mosh pit, you are pulled the fuck back up before someone tramples on you.
Yeah.
You know?
Usually, and I've even seen people in wheelchairs being rolled into mosh pits. That was fun.
Probably voluntarily.
Oh
I imagine
no,
they
dude!
were like,
Completely voluntarily. The guy fucking was completely into it. So
That's what you tell yourself.
yeah.
That's what his handler said.
It was
Rolling
not
bullshit
like
right
he had
there.
cerebral palsy and was right in the middle of a fit. Okay, he was really there.
You imagine like Stephen Hawking going.
Is he headbanging or is he having a fit?
Doesn't matter.
This
No,
tune
but
fucking rocks.
It's this constant attitude to sort of protect people. It's like artists now need to be aware that their music might
Influence
make
dangerous
people
behavior.
more.
I call it. You know what? I came up with a new term for it, and I wanted to catch on.
Faggots.
Bubble wrap art.
Well, we call it here as nanny state.
Bubble wrap art.
Yeah,
Everything has to be covered in bubble wrap.
You see, the thing is, once that becomes mainstream, which it's very rapidly doing, there's going to be someone else that's going to reject that, and you can get a new art form.
Yeah, so let them impose.
Yeah, because
It's the very same
it's
attitude
it's
that
a
created
disco
punk in the
versus
first
punk.
place.
Disco versus punk. Disco was too goody and all that, and all the people that didn't like that shit went, "Fuck you! I'm going to make my own music with blackjack and hookers and mosh pits." And it's going to happen again.
Did you know the mosh pit was actually invented because a band was so shit, but they didn't know they were shit? So basically, the front row of this metal gig they hated them so much they were literally trying to clamber over the front bar and get to the band to shut them up. And it just ended up with a bunch of pushing and shoving. They were just like, "Oh yeah, we're awesome, yeah."
Yeah, people are fighting to get to us. We're rock gods.
You made them sound Swedish there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, yes, we sound amazing.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that
Turn
bad.
up at the bass hands.
Sweden ruins everything.
Well, Swedes do that.
To be fair,
dude, they do
no.
that.
To be fair, they can do metal better than say France. Or so.
Well, they can't do.
Everybody.
No. I will not have Sweden being the better metal than any fucking European country. They're good at pop. Norway's the fucking metal place.
No.
Germany's
I'm not
pretty
saying
good.
they're better than Norway.
Oh, here we go.
There's going to be a real life punch on between Jan and Asto in a minute because they're
Well,
going to
we're
both claim
drinking,
it.
so this should be fun.
They're going to both
might
claim
actually
that
get
they're
Asto
the
on
only real
camera.
metal country.
We don't.
I saw a bit of his shoulder before.
We don't
Thing
fight.
is, it's,
Jan is part French.
Yeah, I surrender.
Nah. It's Finnish metal for me personally.
Yeah, no,
But that's because
Well, it does seem like some of the best metal does come out of the Nordic areas.
yeah, but Sweden doesn't produce metal. They don't. They're fucking hopeless at it.
Sweden only produces one thing these days: cucks.
Yeah.
That'd be really weird for their sort of population. Although I suppose that's why they're importing.
And rape victims.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, thank you,
Aston.
Aston. Cuts and rape victims. Jesus, a match made in heaven.
Jesus. Well, if this show doesn't get us banned, I don't know what will.
Yeah, flag for hate speech. Oh, if anyone was watching, probably.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Killed will.
That's all right. They can say banned for hate speech, but we can just get
Killed says.
She's a sweet Swedish
Killed
woman.
says, can we talk? Yeah. Sorry, Killed says, can we talk about Jan's favorite band, Scooter?
No.
Harder! Faster! Scooter!
Scooter! Are you ready?
Scooter.
I don't even know what that is.
Like just early 2000s, I think.
Yeah.
Just like really like house.
They're still.
You just
They're
love
still
shouting
doing music.
above
They're
the
still. They're still there. They're still.
It was
Still?
late 90s. Late
Raving
90s.
hard.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Late
Further back,
90s.
that's all.
They were popular in Europe in the late
Yeah.
90s, and it was basically a German. I wouldn't even call him an MC because all they did was just yell
Yeah.
Yeah.
and,
it's like
and just really
Calvin
hard
Harris.
techno music on top of it.
It's trash.
Oh well, there you go. Techno music.
Yeah.
Do you know, I have a friend who's really into Eiffel 65.
The fuck?
Yeah, like, and he knows more than Blue. Like, he's listened to all the albums. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Do you need to know more than Blue?
Exactly. Yeah.
They
Like,
have albums?
to the point where you
What
could
the
play
fuck?
him a song, and he'd be able to tell you, like, the name of it and the album it came from. I have a slightly bigger glass than you, Jen.
Remember that argument you were making about advertisers thinking humanity is dumb?
You know what, he just watched an Eiffel 65 ad, and now he's just, must buy all their music.
No, he was thinking about Blue Daffodil.
Yeah, he's just indoctrinated by that song.
Fuck that song.
Yeah. It's
It's
hopeless.
the most annoying song ever. Like, it was okay to hear the first time, but it was fucking everywhere.
But after 10,000
constantly.
times now.
What are the other songs like earworms like that?
Well, there's Aqua, Barbie Girl.
Yeah, Barbie Girl. Yeah.
That's Danish
Rammstein
Norwegian,
version's good.
actually.
Did you have Mambo number 5?
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Scat Man.
Oh, Scatman John, fucking legend. Have you heard his other stuff? That's pretty good.
Yeah, he is.
He was.
A shame about him. He's like the most depressive musical figure in all of history.
Mm-hmm.
Have speech impediment, can't sing, scat instead because you still love and want to do jazz. Die as soon as you get famous.
Yeah.
Well, that's jazz for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Fuck.
You can't prove me wrong.
Did you see people were saying that was it Lucio is that new Overwatch skin is appropriative? or
Oh,
something?
yeah.
How? Like, really? You're good?
Yeah.
Was it because white people are playing it, or because it was made by white people? I didn't actually look the fucking.
No, jazz was
traffic.
originally created by the black community in the U.S. to begin with.
Okay, so
Yeah,
because it's
but,
Lucio's not black enough.
If that's the case,
No, they were trying to
hold
call it
on.
racist because, of course, the black character is jazz
right,
based.
stereotyping.
All right, but here you go.
He's a
Bombshell.
DJ. He's a
Rap-
Yeah,
fucking
he's literally a
DJ.
DJ.
Scottish.
Why wouldn't he be into jazz?
Yeah, exactly.
Rap music is Scottish
Yeah,
in origin.
yeah.
Rap.
Originally called flighting, hence the word fly in rap music.
Alright, that's interesting.
Yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah. That's a
You wouldn't have-
fact.
You wouldn't have jazz if African Americans hadn't appropriated white classical instruments anyway. This is the whole
Yeah,
bullshit
that's
thing about
why
us
the
being
argument is
Spaniards.
dumb.
Like, I actually said that to someone who was saying, this is a German band who's using jazz. This is problematic. So I said, well, fucking, you wouldn't have jazz if cultures kept shit to themselves. You
Yeah,
know?
jazz
But
was
he's just
literally a mesh
But he was just saying,
of
it's
different
okay
cultures
because
making
slavery.
music together.
Yeah.
And
it's
everywhere
okay.
you find meshes of different cultures, you find good things coming out of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because it's a catalyst for change, and change is not necessarily bad. Sometimes it's good.
The
No.
white girl burritos as well. You see that story?
Somewhere, an alt-writer just died because of what you
totally-
said, Evil. Somewhere an
I
alt-writer
totally
just
forgot
died.
to bring that
White
up as a topic.
genocide! Stop it! Stop white genocide now!
Change is bad! Trad!
Like, white girls can't make burritos. Like, they can't have, like...
That was it. Yeah. That,
You know why this
garlic
upsets
was so-
me? Jan, you know why it upsets me? The Last Dragon Take your pizza.
Yeah.
to Daddy Green's Pizza.
Yeah.
Leroy Green's dad, Bruce Leroy's dad, could not have opened up that pizza joint because he's black and not Italian, and that's cultural appropriation.
No,
Well, the pizzas you make aren't really Italian pizzas. They're American pizzas.
Cultural appropriation is appropriation plus power.
Yeah.
But they talk about, oh, you're taking culture away. It's like, bitch, they're going back to America. The women making, like, the Mexican burritos are staying in fucking Mexico.
It's a fucking taco truck.
Yeah.
It's
Also,
a
I'm taking my
fucking
cat
taco
off the window
truck.
before he jumps into the garden. Stupid ass.
Oh,
I got an important question of the day.
Yeah.
Why do fidget spinners look like Ralph's dick?
What?
What?
No.
Jesus.
For those of you playing at home,
Are you still trying to pick a fight with Ralph?
No, I just had it. It's just a random thought.
Yeah.
oh, Ethan Ralph, right? Okay, I'm with you.
Okay. Evil
I
things
immediately went to
randomly
Ralph
about
Wiggum.
Ralph's dick.
Yeah.
Evil things randomly about Ralph's dick.
Yeah.
I would tweet that at him, but
randomly
I'd
about
probably get
laughing.
blocked.
No, but here's the. Me and Osto were in.
I
were
went
in
on
Oslo.
camera just to make this face evil, just for you.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that face.
No, but here's the thing. Me and Osto we were in Oslo on a museum tour yesterday, and we were in a museum, and we walked around. There were a lot of amazing displays of different cultures, and we were really enjoying it. And then we got up into the 3rd floor, and then all of a sudden there was a postmodernist display of how appropriating culture is bad. At the end, yeah, it was like you were walking through these different type of cultural displays, these really good celebrations of different historical people, and then all of a sudden at the top of the fucking building there's feel bad about all the displays you just went through.
Jesus Christ.
And
Of all the places, a museum? Really?
Yeah, a museum.
Just a place where you chronicle culture.
Yeah. That's the thing. If it had been a modern art or a postmodern art gallery, I wouldn't have minded it as much. I mean, I would have minded it.
Because you wouldn't have
my
paid for
feelings
it.
was postmodernist, but the fact that it was in a fucking museum, it just boggles my mind.
And a museum which showed how mixing of cultures actually makes sense and brings out good things.
Yeah.
And
to say,
but don't do that. The Buddha in your living room will kill people.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would be a postmodernist exhibit? I could set up a postmodernist exhibit, but someone would walk in, I would slap them across the face and say, because I didn't experience that slap, it didn't exist.
No, all it was basically just a bunch of copies of cultural items, and then a lot of sort of ideological messages.
That sounds racist as fuck.
No, but here's the thing. There was a bunch of messages on the wall besides the item saying, these copies are bad. Is it bad if we do this? Is it bad if we do that? Is it bad if you have a Buddha in your house, but you're not a Buddhist and you're not from Asia?
The answer may surprise you.
Fuck.
Yeah.
What?
Not.
It was like walking into a fucking BuzzFeed article.
Learn how to appropriate cultures with this one weird trick.
Yeah.
SJWs hate him.
Yeah. Well, speaking of SJW hate, there's a situation developing at Evergreen College where Brett Weinstein, a professor in biology, is in real trouble with the students because he... Let me get the article up so I get this absolutely straight, because there's been a lot of bullshit about this.
No gay news here.
Yeah. Brett Weinstein, a biology professor at the university, sent out an email criticizing the purpose of this year's Day of Absence event, where, unlike in the past, white students and faculty members were asked to leave campus to give space to people of color. Traditionally, the annual event is characterized by people of color leaving the campus to show their contribution to the campus, while white students and faculty members are attending anti-racism workshops.
Yeah, you think they're looking forward to that day of absence to say, oh, we can have some peace and quiet and actually get on with some work without people going like, hooting and fist pumping. Sorry, yeah.
Oh god.
No, they've got to go to these fucking...
I just want to say, if I'm ever told I have to go to an anti-racism workshop and there's no one of any other race in there, I'm not staying.
I would
I'm
say
leaving.
anyway.
No,
That sounds
I
bullshit
don't mind if they're
in
going to have an ocean workshop, provided everyone has to attend. If you're saying, oh, those people don't have to attend, they can't possibly be racist, I'm not sticking around because I know the whole thing is complete and total bullshit. And
then they
it
wheel
actually
out
is
the television.
racist.
And then they wheel out the television, and there's pictures of ice cream, and you're the vanilla.
Yeah, well,
you are slowly
that,
melted down into the Neapolitan mixture that is degeneracy.
you know what was funny about that was the terrible contradiction contained therein.
Yeah.
Conversion therapy doesn't work except when it does.
Yeah, to you, because you're an oppressor.
Yeah.
Scum.
Yeah. Get fucked.
So yeah, is it just me, or is biology professor one step above evolutionary psychologist for the most fucking target-worthy professor?
Here's the thing. Here is the thing. Jordan Peterson, and I bring him up a lot on this podcast. I know that he
fanboy.
Yeah, he did predict this, or he did say he thought that since they were going after psychologists now, they would go after biologists and psychiatrists next. And this is exactly what they're doing.
People they're going to come after is biologists. So that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kermit the Frog.
Have you heard about Toronto in Canada?
Republicans in America are more likely to be creative people. It's fun.
No, dude, if Kermit the Frog actually did that, they literally have people in the streets burning epitaphs of Kermit the Frog.
Let's get Jordan Peterson on Sesame Street. How amazing would that
No.
Dude,
he showed
up at McMaster's with a frog puppet. I'm not fucking kidding.
Oh shit, yeah, he did.
So he already embraced that meme. And there's no turning back from that. He is Kermit. He's a disciple of Keck. He's signed the fucking petition.
Yeah. Kermit the Frog talking about pictures of Muhammad and stuff.
Yeah.
But no, this is the thing in that, like, your activism, that university already has to be fairly cuckolded for them to agree that every non-white student can just take the fucking day off and the rest have to be indoctrinated while they're away.
I want this too. Please, every week, non-white day, at least one.
Yeah, please, but they don't even let you capitalize on that. That's what I'm on about. It's like you have to take these fucking workshops as well. But no, to me, that's
it's like saying only black people get Martin Luther King Day off.
Yeah, or Black History Month off of work. I heard a story about a guy who did just take February off because he thought blacks got Black History Month off.
But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this was. I think there was actually just a suggestion from one faculty member called Rashida. I think that's a professor.
Is that what Brett responded to?
And yes, and he responded to her with an email that just when you first described the new structure for Day of Absence / Day of Presence at a past faculty meeting where no room was left for questions, I thought I must have misunderstood what you said. Later emails seemed to muddy the water further while inviting commitments to participate. I now see from the bold-faced text in this email that I had indeed understood your words correctly. There is a huge difference between a group or a coalition deciding to voluntarily absent themselves from a shared space in order to highlight their vital and underappreciated roles, and a group or coalition encouraging other groups to go away. The first is forceful call to consciousness, which is, of course, crippling the logic of oppression. So he is actually, it does seem like Brett Weinstein has been maybe a bit of a social justice advocate.
Well, I think
he has been red-pilled severely now.
Pretty much, yeah. I think his brother knows full on, but Brett seemed to couch a lot of his words, and obviously he put up with this in previous years, because if you ask me, forcing white students into this kind of learn why you're racist classes just because other people wanted to demonstrate. That's already fucking forcing people to be part of your activism, you know? And so I'm interested that this is a step too far for him, you know? If it had been me, I'd be like, this is already a step too far. I'm here to fucking study, not to be just fucking blue-pilled. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
it's the concept of... All right.
Sorry.
When people like this gain too much power on campus, this is the kind of stuff that they do in order to impose power. That's all this is dick measuring of look how powerful we are to, you know,
it's a pledge.
Basically do this to a group of people we feel is okay to marginalize. That's all this is. All of it.
Yeah.
And that's what you're and that's the argument, is that you're marginalizing people while bitching about people being marginalized.
Yeah, and it's just existence now, isn't it? Because
it's the same hypocritical concept of feeling your racism is okay, but being against racism in general, or saying you're against racism in general. It's, well, then it's not racism when we do it because we're not marginalized.
Yeah, and it's that pernicious thing where you can victimize every individual in a group because you claim that by mere factor of existing in that group, you perpetuate a culture of, in several brackets, bad thing, you know?
Right. It would be different if they could show examples on that campus how they were marginalized in any way whatsoever, but they can't, so they have to...
The culture is there, the system is there.
Yeah.
And there's no incentive for them to just say, okay, you did enough, you flagellated yourself enough, culture is now no longer white supremacy. There's no fucking people are bending over backwards to them. Like, there's no reason for them to let up on this, because they're onto a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. They haven't had to show proof, and they've already got a fucking legion of white allies who are more than happy to give them the day off while they go and whip themselves with reeds.
Yeah.
You know?
And what happened after this email was sent was that it prompted a mob of students to confront the professor in person and accuse him of racism and call for his resignation or to be fired. Now, the professor answered with... Yeah. The professor answered with trying to encourage dialogue by saying there's a difference between debate and dialectic. So he was trying to not encourage a debate, but to encourage a dialectic. Basically, to have people talk and then listen to those people talk, and then have him talk and them listen again.
Yeah.
But
which makes sense, because in a debate, you're trying to win someone over, but he's not trying to win someone over. He's trying to point out why he's not partaking in this bullshit thing.
It comes down to the concept of, because someone's white, they have to be racist, which is racist to assume that because somebody is white, they are racist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's my problem with it.
Yeah, essentially what Weinstein said was a long and academic way of saying not an argument.
But what he was trying to do was actually to encourage them to... It's not the same as the Jordan Peterson situation, because what he was trying to do was actually to placate to these students and actually have them speak their minds, but also so he could speak his mind as well. So it wasn't...
We're past that.
Yeah. No, I'm not... You know.
I know what you mean. No, as in, getting his word out if it clashes with the tuition-paying students in this liberal university. You know, we're past that. You know, kiss the ring or get the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But
even if you're being paid for it.
The thing is that I think among other people, Sam Harris tweeted out that these kids don't belong in university. They need cult deprogramming before they could join. The problem is that they have gotten that programming in the school,
in the universities.
Yeah.
It's funny, whatever the fuck happened to Sargon's petition anyway?
Did that
just die a death?
Nothing.
Yeah. There are people, I think they just...
I don't really pay attention to them, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, it was ages ago now.
Yeah. It's
Look, as long as people are paying for it, they'll keep offering it. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, but
and
sorry,
you know they sold one thing.
They have
by
to
the time
turn
they
into
come out, they
Mizu.
believe another.
They
Because
have
they
to turn
sold
into
it as,
Mizu
this is
before
for
they turn
quality.
around.
Oh, this is for cultural sensitivity. No, it's not. It's they're actually teaching them racism and sexism and how to be a complete and total tosspot and reject reality and become an activist for some cause that they never signed up for.
More colleges like what happened with Mizu are going to have to happen before they realize that if you want to survive as a business, you can't do this.
well, they should stop treating the fucking colleges as businesses, because that's one of the problems, is that they treat the students as customers. They're not there to learn. They're there to be placated to. And that's one of the major issues with the American fucking education system. Because as a customer, they have a right to fucking complain, which they shouldn't have. That's just, it's idiotic to have
The thing is that's not going to fix itself.
No,
The
I know
problem
that.
right
I
now
know
is,
that. It's
and I
just that,
think more than anything,
yeah.
that's in because of the system that we have and because of the free market the way it is. This particular problem, won't fix itself until people start losing money, like Mizu. And that was my argument. Is that that's the only thing that's going to turn this around because
Yeah.
socially, like they have complete control over the system. That's the only thing that's going to drive them out is them losing their jobs.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of it's like that that article which was released like 2-3 years ago that said I'm a liberal professor and my students scare me. Uh, it's just getting worse. The
Yeah,
kids
it's
are,
going to, and it
yeah.
needs to, because until it gets worse,
It will
people
not get
aren't going
better.
to win. Yeah, people need to. It needs to be a problem that everybody knows about, and the only way that's going to
It
happen
needs
is
to
by
be.
them getting worse.
You get the college intern come in, and all of a sudden there's 150 lawsuits in the company, and then people might start paying attention to this shit. Like, what the fuck has happened to colleges? Why is my
Yeah,
company now
or they
having to
see that
spend 100
column
grand on lawyers to defend against bullshit that shouldn't no one believes in the
when
first
yeah,
place?
and and it'll come to a point where they'll see these colleges on a resume and won't even they go into the discard
It's
pile
circular
immediately.
filing cabinet.
The
Like, oh,
circular
he's from
filing cabinet.
Mizu? Yeah, no. The
Yeah.
last time we got someone from Mizu, it was a fucking nightmare. I'm not going through that again.
Well,
Exactly.
it's already happening. It's already happening. The
Yeah, but it needs
businesses
to
are
happen
not
on a larger
hiring
scale,
people.
yeah.
Yeah.
It,
Well,
it has to become common knowledge. Like me, like if I'm hiring people, there are certain colleges in my state that I know if people come from those particular colleges, they are completely useless.
yeah. Well,
And that's before, all of this social justice shit. It should be another reason why, well, this college is crap and this college is crap. That's why people want to go to big name colleges and colleges that everybody knows and are famous for their curriculum and being a place of higher learning. That's why people want to go to those schools, because they look good on a resume. Until these colleges look horrible on a resume, there won't be any change socially.
yeah.
Yep. And once people realize that these courses exist and that they're all terrible, maybe they'll stop taking them.
Like if I saw a Mizu resume run by my desk, I would laugh my ass off. That kid might be good. That kid might have not have been involved in any of that crap, but there's still a part of me that's just like,
It's not worth the risk.
yeah, is it really worth the whisk? Is it really worth, jeopardizing my entire business and my entire company because, there I don't have enough black culture in my business or some ridiculous bullshit like that.
Yeah.
or I'm not celebrating Ramadan or something. I don't know, something retarded like that. Like, do I no?
Yep.
Yeah,
It's just not
that's when it has to change. It has to start costing people money, essentially, or time, or effort. And
Often.
and by people I mean normies, on a grander scale. And it's going to happen because they keep pushing the shit.
Well, it's already happening, and it's
What needs
already.
to happen is people need to see gender studies or cultural studies or whatever the fucking code word is now on a resume and go, nope.
They
That's
are
And move on to the
already
already
a
next one.
thing with
evil.
most
Evil. They are
companies.
already doing that. It's
There's like, if you see
yeah.
gender studies as your fuck, no, mm-mm. No. Companies are already hip to that. We're like, you studied a useless degree that didn't teach you anything and was all about your feelings, and you're of no worth whatsoever. Like the most they can get is like you don't hire them to do work. You hire them to like fight off lawsuits. They're
Yeah.
basically human shields that you hire.
Yeah, and they're rapidly becoming more trouble than what they're preventing.
Yeah, than they're worth in the first place.
Yep. It's bound
Kelly from
to.
HR is pissed off that we're having tacos for dinner because none of us are Mexican.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
And
it's not gonna
yeah,
necessarily
fuck
get.
with people. Fuck with people's dinner choices, and yeah, you're gonna start seeing some pushback.
yeah, maybe that's what it is. You gotta fuck with
Hey,
their
I
food.
wanted tacos. You're allowed to have tacos. Why? Because you're white. What?
But I'm Spanish.
Yeah. No, you're white.
And you can't have a
I said so.
falafel. You're not Arab. But it's from an Arab business, and we're helping them out. It doesn't matter. You don't get to eat that food. That food isn't for white people.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's already changing. There are people talking to business owners and also, you know, people graduating for business classes and so on that will not be hired because they took some minor in gender studies and it doesn't look fucking good on a resume. It doesn't
It's
look
a
good because
bird
it's a
course.
walking fucking lawsuit.
It's a bird course. You don't take it to learn anything. You take it so because you're going to fly right through it.
Yeah.
And like that's why there was a push a couple years ago about respecting a gender studies degree.
Yeah.
Because they know damn well, in the business world, nobody respects that. They just don't say it out loud because then they'd have to deal with a shitstorm.
Yep.
All of
Anyways.
your virtuals. Hmm?
Anyways,
What'd you say?
let's move on because we got something to cover that that's in the title screen because Trump went to Saudi Arabia this week.
That's good timing for me to get back. They just had a knock at the door, and it was mobile doctors, but they got the wrong house, which fills me with confidence.
Anyways, so Trump is on his his first official international
World tour.
presidential hug foreign leader campaign.
Yeah, that. Frosty reception in the Vatican? When it touched a wall in Israel?
Well, yes. Well, the first country he went to was Saudi Arabia. Or am I misremembering?
Let's do some Google food, shall we?
Artivous, you're American. Have you been
I believe he
paying
went to
attention?
Saudi Arabia first, and then he went to Israel.
Yeah. And in Saudi Arabia, he, well, first of all, his wife, Melania.
Yes, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. His wife, Melania, refused to wear the hijab or any type of head covering, which
That's it.
I fucking applaud her for. Yeah, that's it's a good fucking thing.
It says to me that they're not they're not bowing and scraping as they come to the negotiation table. You know,
no,
it's not. We're making
what everyone else had done.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're not making
They
concessions
gotta make that $1 billion freaking weapons deal, baby.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's the thing, though, as well. Michelle Obama didn't wear a fucking shawl either when they went to Saudi Arabia. So,
Oh no, there was no way in hell she was going to.
no.
Well, men aren't obliged to anyway.
No, that's true.
that was a cheap joke.
Be careful, dude. She'll hunt you down.
Yeah, because they have the right to bear arms over there, and she definitely has a pair of bare arms.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's still, it's a situation where he went to Saudi Arabia to, I don't know, to hold a speech about.
It's basically to
cement relations.
Yeah, cement relations.
Right.
It's public relations, and to be perfectly honest, it's not really needed when
Satan is already there.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of want to know what it is behind the scenes that makes KSA such a valuable ally. Do you know what I mean? Like, on the from the layman's perspective, they are just as bad. Well, there's other places with oil.
No, but they are
just have that much.
No, but they are on the board of the OPEC. They are serious.
Yeah.
They can, whenever they say something in the OPEC alliance, the rest of the fucking members they listen.
Yeah, and Venezuela is pretty fucked, so they're unstable.
Yeah,
and I think Venezuela would be the other country you need to have if you fuck up relationship with Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, since Venezuela first went socialist and then afterwards went into complete chaos, it means that the oil production from Venezuela to America basically made it untenable, and they had to forge a stronger relationship with Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So it's
and they won the Russian relationship, but that's now been fucked up by Syria.
Yeah, of course. And then that means he has to placate to the Saudis. Otherwise the US is fucked. Because they can't get the oil they need to be able to maintain the living standard they have.
Well, that's the thing. Shale and fracking went up the arse, didn't it? So.
Yeah, but all that oil goes out of the country. So
this is why the whole clean energy thing and the whole alternative fuel thing was marketed the wrong fucking way, and the people in charge of that front are fucking idiots to me.
Yeah.
Because the first thing out of your fucking mouth in terms of pushing alternative energy is stop giving the towel heads money.
Yeah.
If you went, like, all you have to do is make a decent muscle car or a decent fucking truck that doesn't sound like
ass.
It's having an orgasm when it drives.
Well, it's
and say, do you want to keep giving the Saudis money? Because driving a car that needs oil is how you're giving Saudis money.
Yeah.
And it would solve the problem. But then you'd have everybody on the fucking left say, no, we need oil from the Saudis.
Yeah, but that's how much harder to make.
Especially when, like, you can't... I think... morals kind of go out of the way as far as foreign policy is concerned when oil's involved. When it's just kind of who's got a stranglehold on your lifeblood at this point.
Yeah. Well, oil. We have built our civilization far too dependent on fossil fuels. That is a huge problem.
Yeah.
And yeah.
If people weren't so terrified of nuclear energy, it wouldn't be a problem. But
Yeah, agreed.
Here we are.
Yeah, well, you got your Chernobyl. So
I disagree. The problem with nuclear energy, especially in Germany, is that you cannot put the waste anywhere feasible. And where the place where we put the waste, where we thought, the next 100 years it can stay there. Well, they are all now rotten, and it leaks. So we are burned on that front.
Well, you can put the refugees there. That'll work itself out.
oh, there you go. That's how.
Refugees
Man,
will
they have
just
enough
waste.
problem
A new
with inbreeding
reality
to
TV
have
show.
fucking
Can we-
birth defects. Now you want to fucking irradiate their asses? God damn.
Can we?
How else are we going to get superpowers?
Can we make that like a deal
Superpowered
sweetener for the
recharge
Brexit?
is not something the world needs.
So that is
Can
the
we
way
make
we
that-
get a new
It's what the world deserves.
Can we make that part of our Brexit deal sweetener? In that we'll take on the nuclear waste and put it in the South Georgia Islands.
Jesus Christ.
Like,
Put it-
no divorce bill. We'll get rid of the scientists in South Georgia and we'll just dump like all of Germany, all of Bulgaria, all their fucking unsafe nuclear waste. Just dump it in the South Georgia Islands.
No, Montana to make Far Cry 5 interesting.
That's how Far Cry 6 starts. They decide to
The
dump all the
Toxic
nuclear waste in
Avengers.
California in response to its
Toxic
wank
Avengers, yeah.
Yeah, but going back to the Saudis. I mean, selling them. What was it? $100 billion.
billion.
Yeah, worth of arms. Is it that fucking smart to sell weapons to the Wahhabis?
Jan, the Yemen doesn't bomb itself out of existence.
No, I realize that. But it's,
Yeah, they have the Yemen. And you
mean,
also
they
see
may try,
that
but-
it's making its way all the way around the world. You know, people are finding weapons caches in Deobandi in Deobandi mosques. Now,
Yeah.
even in the fucking UK. You know,
In Montana, in the
This is
churches.
this is widely circulated.
Maybe that's the scam. You sell the weapons to Saudi Arabia, they give it to terrorists, and then you take it from the terrorists, and then you sell the weapons again to Saudi Arabia, and that's the circle of life.
It's the QVC method of circulating.
and
products.
that's the way the Americans get rid of their fucking debt. It's brilliant. It'll cost a lot
Oh my
of
God.
debt.
Saudis the same weapon.
For
over and over again.
DHS!
Seizing it from terrorists by doing mosque raids and then selling them back to Saudi Arabia.
Well, they're gonna put the terror tax on it soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you
That's
have
just a
to.
side effect.
Yeah, you have to pay for every bullet for some reason. No, but it's the entire sort of Trump international travel thingy seems to have it does seem to have been a bit of a debacle, but it's also been the leftist press trying to, and I realize I just sounded like Paul Joseph Watson. God damn it.
The left is tolerant.
No, no.
of liberal meat.
At least we got
You
the
gotta say,
Trump sword
you gotta
kick.
say it like this. Leftists!
Okay.
This is the thing.
The leftist press. The leftist press.
Why do you
The
always do his impression
mainstream
like he's got a list?
media.
Raped our
Stop
woman!
it.
Because it sounds gay and you know that's going to anger him.
Yeah. No, but it does seem like they are spending an inordinate amount of time trying to figure out if Melania is pissed off at Donald Trump.
Because, and you want to know why?
Go on.
Because they are owned by fucking oil money too, and
Yeah.
if they say anything about the fucking arms deal, that's their ass.
Yeah.
So they have to come up with stupid shit to be pissed off about, because they have to be pissed off about something about Trump.
Did
But they can't be pissed off about the stuff they should be mad at.
What the fuck? Sorry, I've just noticed. I'm looking at this 2017 schedule for the international trip, right? He went to Jerusalem for the 22nd and 23rd.
Yeah.
He went to Palestine, May 23rd, and then Rome, May 23rd, 24th. Right? So he visited the Palestinian National Authority on the same day as he was in Israel and Italy.
Yeah.
Like, he just squeezed that in, like, a couple of hours.
Well,
I was wondering, it's like, why the fuck didn't we hear any news stories about Palestine and Italy? It was kind of like Saudi Arabia with the orb, Israel with the wall, Vatican City with the Pope being a petty douchebag. You know, why was there nothing on Palestine and Italy? And I just realized because they didn't have fucking time. Holy shit!
No, I don't think the press actually managed to get to the meeting with Abbas at all.
They didn't get past the checkpoints.
No, they are still held in Turkey.
Yeah, they're still held in Turkey.
Getting the shit beaten out of them by twats in suits.
Yeah, well, where is he going after Italy now? Because
he's going back to that's the end of it is tomorrow, because it's the G7 summit. So he's met fucking wasn't Trudeau there as well, and Abe, Merkel, and all that. He's back. He's going to Hamburg, July 7th to the 8th for the G20 summit. That's in Hamburg this year.
Yeah.
Oh no!
And then he's visiting...
Oh no! Fuck! Traffic will be a mess. Fucking out.
Yeah.
They can go.
He
home.
is then.
Fuck
Well, he's then in London and then going to Scotland between October 5th to October 8th, and that's a state visit to meet the Queen, which should be interesting.
Queen
and then it's
Queen.
And then it's Vietnam, November 11th to 12th. That'll be 1 year into his presidency. He'll be visiting Vietnam, and then he visits the Philippines for the 12th East Asia Summit on the.
So that's the one that's going to be most entertaining to me.
We'll see where the hell the Philippines are by November.
Yeah.
A lot will have changed. A month is a long time in politics.
Well, we can
fucking.
Yeah, we can switch over to the Philippines because that's also on our topics list.
Oh shit! I did the jam.
I was trying to segue, dude, and you ruined it.
Yeah. Well, it is an interesting topic because I actually heard about this before. I think, well, not anyone else, but I did hear about it through the Filipino part of my family, and what has happened is that ISIS has taken one of the southern towns on one of the islands that Indonesians have been slowly but surely capturing from the Philippines.
This is a topic we covered. Like, obviously, it's a bit petty to say, but it ties in with the comics stuff and the Indonesians, like the inexorable push towards Islamism in Indonesia.
Yeah, and
could be a factor.
Yeah. Well, what is happening is basically that the Filipino city of Marawi in the south has been captured by Islamic State. And most of the Islamic State rebels in the Philippines are Indonesians. They're not Filipino. So they are basically slowly but surely taking over island by island in the Philippines.
Right.
Which is fucking weird because I seem to remember certain game journalists being very interested in Filipino politics, but then when something suddenly fucking happens down there, it's fucking silent.
Radio silence.
Yeah, it's silence from the
no coverage whatsoever
from the Western media.
What's happening? Like, surely is there not some kind of response from neighboring countries? Is ASEAN getting involved or China, Malaysia?
No, none of the other countries are getting involved. But Duterte, the newly elected president of the Philippines, who have been described as Trump light, he is he's a really hardcore nationalist, and he does not like the Southern rebels, as he calls them, and he is not happy with this at all. And he's not
Well,
very well portrayed in Western media, which might be another reason why Western media are not covering this these attacks at all.
He's not. See, here's the thing. He's the type of person who he's gung ho about whatever he does, and he flat out said, "I'm gonna eat your fucking organs, you fuckers." Like like that was. He flat out said, "I'm going to eat you." Like
yeah.
I can't think of another like politician who would like basically say, "Don't come to the Philippines, George Soros. There is a fucking bounty on your head."
Yeah.
Even if there was in other countries, they wouldn't have the balls to say it. You know.
Yeah.
Look, free helicopter rides.
No, he's gonna. As soon as he builds up the forces, he is going to slaughter those ISIS members with absolutely everything he has in terms of military force.
Oh, he is the type of leader that you need in a war situation. He's a tough cookie to crack. He's a the impression I have the impression I have from my brother's fiance is that he is one of the toughest motherfuckers on the planet, and he used to be the mayor of one of the southern cities, which is not too far away from Marawi, and he has had trouble with these ISIS.
He's had to fight them the whole time.
Yeah, he knows them far too well, and he was even willing to settle some sort of. He was willing to make a peace deal with them, but they were not willing to even adhere to that. So he's going to be. It's going to be very fucking interesting to see what happens with that.
He's gonna throw everything at him.
Yeah, he probably will. He is a tough motherfucker. Which it's not going to be well liked by the Western sort of liberal media at all, because they will not appreciate what kind of situation he is in, which is one of the it's one of the front lines against ISIS, because the Philippines is a majority Catholic country, and they have been in conflict with the sort of Muslim guerrilla for a long time, and it has just gotten worse after they sort of associated themselves with ISIS.
Aye, you mentioned Catholic as well. The visit to the Vatican, I noticed that a lot of the press was pointing out that the Pope doesn't like Trump because of his stance on climate change, whereas Pope Francis is very concerned about climate change. What someone pointed out to me is that, I forget who said it, but they're not actually mentioning the fact that Trump is putting in policies that would be detrimental to Mexico in the short term anyway. In the long term, it'll probably do them some good.
Yeah.
But Mexico is very Catholic, and the Pope may just be taking sides upon that. You know, if he's against Mexico, he's against Catholics, therefore I don't like him, kind of thing.
Well, that doesn't necessarily ring true either, because as we said, the Philippines is a majority Catholic country, and Duterte said that the Pope could go fuck himself. So,
well, yeah, is it more that Mexico is more sort of allied to the Vatican?
Yeah. They are far more loyal because the Philippines have been fucked over by religion for the Philippines have been fucked over by religion for a long time. So they are far less likely to accept. Yeah. What did you say, Evil?
I said they're less. It all depends on who's more likely to cuck.
Yeah. Which it
sounds so much better with an Australian accent.
Yeah.
I just want to say.
It just sounds weird when I say cuck.
No, it sounds natural to me when you say it, because I think we have the same kind of inflection.
Yeah. Probably.
That's because we've been watching a lot of British television for many years.
Well, it's that and American, so, you know. No, but it's an interesting situation. I just find the entire because I am sort of closely. I have some interest in following the Filipino situation because I have soon to be family members down there. So
Alright.
it's very it's a very sort of it's an odd situation where if it is a war situation where a lot of people are dying
It is.
and cities are literally on fire, the media would usually be the first one there, but because it's Muslims doing it, for some reason they're completely
Memory hole
fucking
again.
quiet. Yeah, they're completely fucking quiet about it.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, well, let's move on to something.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, a bit more, a bit less depressing, which also involves Muslims, by the way, because Evil wanted to talk about child marriages in Australia.
Yeah.
Each to their own, I suppose.
This has been a problem for a while, and one of the ways they found out about it was one of the husbands took his wife to school, and when they in the bit where it said relationship, he put husband.
Oh,
She was 13.
Jesus.
He went to enroll his wife in school because it's, the law to have your child in
Yeah.
schooling. And instead of putting, guardian or whatever, which would have flown right under the radar, he put husband.
Yeah.
And it's blown this whole thing wide open. And people have been looking into this for a little while, and they keep discovering more and more and more of it. And it's fucking illegal. It's wrong. And they should lock these fuckers in jail.
Yeah.
Simple as. But a lot of them are, will go overseas to do the marriages and stuff as well. And then come back and pretend like, oh, no, that's all right because I didn't get married here. I got married over there. So now I can fuck my wife. Who's
Yeah.
a child. No, get fucked. You want to do that? Fuck off to some other country. I don't want it here. That's why I don't want it.
I don't think there's any Western.
I don't want it. I don't want it anywhere else either, but I definitely don't want it here.
Well, I don't think there's any Western country that would sort of accept that at all.
Sweden.
Well, I was thinking Sweden, but I was going to try to avoid that.
He said
obvious
Western
fucking
country.
joke.
Sweden is no longer a Western country.
Yeah. Very good point.
Britain.
Even
They
if
forfeited the right to be called Western.
yeah,
France, Germany.
it's well, Germany. We have a German here, so he can say what he feels about Germany. But it's
actually also a problem in Germany. It's also a problem like refugees in Germany sometimes are really fucked up. I mean, I already heard like stories that people hold other refugees as slaves for their amusement, usually underage refugees. I heard so many stories about husbands having wives that are like under 14, under 15. And
As young as 12. Young as 11 or 12 over here. It's happened.
Yeah, it's seriously fucked up, and yeah, usually they get separated and they are forbidden to see them. But I would not say that we are very successful. But because who knows what goes on in the refugee camps?
Who knows what goes on when they're not honest about it?
Yeah,
if they turn around and say, "Oh no, I'm the guardian."
Yeah, I think where you separate refugees and where we few refugees, it's better. But there were places where 200-300 refugees live together. There will be child marriages and there will be forceful child marriages, and I don't think these are the countries with female genital mutilation, but I think that's still going on there too, which is
Yeah, but it's
very much
done
sickening.
covertly.
Of course.
A lot of it's done covertly because they know that if they're open about it, it'll be stopped.
Yeah, I
just do
trip
it.
and fall into my wife several times.
Yeah.
And now she's pregnant. A guardian, of course, not my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking terrible, and I don't know, like practically what can be done to stop it, except prosecute extremely harshly when they fuck up and reveal
Enforce
themselves.
the law. Yeah, enforce the law as described would be a nice one. It seems to be here is that the main complaint we're seeing at the moment is just that they seem to get away with so much more than if a British person.
Well, I think the media is a lot to blame for that because they report on all sorts of things, but when this sort of thing happens, they're very reluctant to report on it.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do, it's not headline, it's page 5.
Or they say Australian
it's
man caught with underage wife.
Yeah, it's sympathetic to every article has a sympathetic slant to the refugees.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't
even when they've done something horrifically disgusting.
That you don't
like those blokes that fucking Facebook streamed them basically gang raping a girl.
We don't know how much more they've actually what they got done with their because Sweden doesn't release details of people who have been charged.
Yeah, even the articles about that I saw were like, oh, they didn't know any better, and they did. It's like, come on, dude, they know better. They know what they're doing is wrong. They don't care.
Yeah, that's not.
Well, there's an argument.
Just like the people.
Oh, they didn't know any better. There's the argument against having so much immigration.
Just like with the child marriages, just like with the female genital mutilation, they know that shit isn't allowed here. They know it's not okay. They don't care. They just hide it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't fucking hide it if they weren't aware that it isn't illegal.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's a poor argument.
Yeah, it's a hopeless argument.
Law enforcement wouldn't be so hesitant if the accusation of racism wasn't such a a death knell to your career.
Yeah, it's the end of your life.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not a happy situation at all. I don't think anyone is sort of happy with the situation at all. But if you're not honest about the situation, it's just going to get worse because some motherfucker's going to get hurt because of it.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I bring up moderate Muslims speaking out against this. The reason they don't speak out against this is because they will end up dead. They will vanish.
Yeah.
Under circumstances, and people are like, oh well, that means that there's no way. It means that there is a direct push from this religion to take control violently, and you can pretend it doesn't exist. But when moderates vanish. When their uncles show up to take them back to whatever country they escaped from, and nobody says anything. Like, could you imagine that coming from other religion? Could you imagine Catholics saying, "Oh, it's okay to marry this 9-year-old and fuck her"?
Yeah, it's unthinkable nowadays because well, that's the thing. It reformed. So it actually joined the 21st century. Did most of Christianity?
Yeah.
Well, the Catholic Church doesn't marry 9-year-olds. It just touches them.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's scandal about that. People are pissed off about that.
Yeah, of course.
People try and do something about that.
Yeah.
Other religions?
No chance.
I actually saw, and I don't follow Tommy Robinson, but a lot of the people I follow retweet him on a constant basis, and I don't have anything against Tommy Robinson at all. He I don't align with him politically on everything, but on some things I do. But he retweeted he retweeted
Jan
one
has
of
become a
the
hand puppet.
no one of the fuck you, one of the actual victims of the Rotherham grooming gangs who hadn't gotten any sort of justice for 12 years. She had carried this around for 12 years, and she was seriously angry. I mean, I understand her as well. Jesus,
You'd be pretty upset if you got raped.
Yeah, if anyone within my family got raped in
Years.
that way that she was, or groomed in that way that she was, I'd be pissed too. And the thing is that there was also a bunch of reports about the different sort of there were a bunch of reports on some of the people who had perpetrated terror acts within the last year among the Manchester guys. Well, and we might talk about that at the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
He was actually reported in by friends and family at 2 different occasions.
Yeah.
At 2 different occasions, and the police didn't do anything. So there's something to it.
Yeah, so you got to work out what's going on. And to hear Tommy Robinson say it is that there was something like some shady deal done in places like Luton and stuff, and they housed sort of like high-end sort of imams like Saif al-Islam and things like that to foster this sort of thing. And whether it was let me think now, to deal with the Soviets in Afghanistan, or or as part of the sort of the globalist decision to destabilize the Middle East and nick all the oil. This is the fallout that we're dealing with, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer. So.
It's not a it's not a very pleasant situation that we're in right now.
No, absolutely not.
Because it's not just the fact that there's political chaos in the West. There's also real fucking chaos in the rest of the world, and it doesn't fucking help to sort of not be honest about not be honest about what the problems are in different groups.
Absolutely.
And one of the major problems is this. Yeah, it is this complete and fucking disregard. Yeah, but it's this complete and fucking it's this complete and utter disregard of Western value by the people coming into Western countries. And not just the people coming into Western countries, but also the people.
It's the same, Jen.
Yeah.
It's this. I could simplify everything you're trying to say in one argument. The difference between refugees from these countries and refugees in the past is refugees in the past wanted to assimilate and become a part of the countries that they're going to. These refugees do not want to become a part of the countries that they're going to. They want to make their country in these new countries that they're going to. They don't want to assimilate. They don't want to become a part of these cultures. They want to force their culture on them. They want to make these countries the same as the ones that they came from, rather than meld into the whatever grand melting pot, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And as long as that mentality is there will be violence. They do not come as friends. They come as conquerors.
Yeah. Was that your end of the thing speech?
No, I just wanted to... I just wanted to stop a Jan rant.
Since we are on the refugee path, we should probably address my favorite country, Poland.
Hey.
Yeah, because they are under pressure from the EU to take in refugees.
Yeah. They're standing fast.
And they've said, fuck no.
Yeah. You wanted to talk about this, Artivous, so take it away.
All right. Basically, the push against, because we've brought up before that the EU wants to have a military so that they can basically take control of smaller countries and basically force them to do whatever they want. Um, and Poland has been very adamant, even in the past, even now, about not letting anybody in because,
They've had the tanks roll through before.
yeah, they've had the tanks roll through before. And more, like even with the the French election and him basically after winning, like the very one of the very first things he said is, we're going to basically make you take in refugees because the EU has France permanently now, was basically the message
Yeah.
that we're
I'm
going
still
to go
thinking
to.
they played that up somewhat to try and make the right look even crazier by making them think they were right. But I don't know. I'll find out eventually.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing where it's Poland is in a fucked up situation. Poland is probably either going to have to leave the EU or get.
They'll be kicked out of the EU.
Yeah, they won't
No,
leave.
they won't.
They get too much money from the EU to leave, essentially. They're a net
Yeah,
benefactor.
it's
So.
either they lose that money or they let the refugee crisis come into their country and everything horrible that we've brought up on this show comes with it. So unless they get protection from somebody on the outside, like anybody willing to step in terms of a military power and military might that can say no, if you fuck with Poland, you're going to have to deal with us. Um, they're gonna get steamrolled, man.
Well,
It's
they
fucked
they
up.
are a part of NATO, so
Yeah.
NATO isn't gonna do shit.
Well, you never know. that's
Time will tell.
that's one of the major problems with the EU military situation is that a lot of the member countries of the EU are also members of NATO. So it actually, to establish that military, you have to break a lot of the alliances up
Yeah.
already. So it doesn't. It's a very complicated situation. It's not going to be resolved by the EU just deciding to have a fucking military. It's not gonna fly. It's not gonna work. It's one of those situations where yeah, the idea maybe it may sound great to the people that developed it, but they forgot about the treaty that both Germany, France, Britain and Denmark have with other countries outside of the EU. And also newer countries within the EU have with them as well. So it's going to be one of those situations where if they're going to resolve it in that way and use that army in that way, they have to fucking dismantle they have to dismantle NATO first. And that's probably not going to happen unless Trump seems to be, pushing that whole "you have to pay us to protect us" thing. Then
Yeah.
then NATO may collapse, and that's also a bit of a scary situation, especially for us who are, especially for Norway, who's not a member of the EU and have a small Russian minority within our country. That's not good. It's never good for a non-NATO country to have a Russian minority, because that usually means he's going to take it. Putin, that is. So it's it's not a situation where they could actually push through that without dissolving NATO first. But then again,
I
they
honestly,
might do that.
yeah.
I don't think so. NATO is here to stay.
Yeah. Well, NATO has been here for far longer than the EU as an organization and as an effective way of defending Europe. So time will tell. But it's an interesting situation, and the EU seems to be trying out their super state privileges already.
Yeah.
Yep.
And personally, I think they might be in for a shock in that they find that they're actually expected to be held to the same account as countries are once they are the USSE.
Yeah.
And they're not the ungovernable, undemocratic, country that they pseudo country that they once were.
Yeah. That is.
Who knows?
Yeah, that it's an interesting situation, and more power to Poland to actually say no. This is not why we joined the EU. This is not part of the deal.
Yeah,
and to actually stand up to someone who seems bigger and stronger than. That being said, Poland does have a pretty big military, and they also have a pretty not they're not badly equipped because they signed a deal with the US a few years back when the entire Crimea situation happened. So I wouldn't, and I don't think it would ever come to a situation where the EU would or Germany would invade Poland to get them to take in immigrants. That would be such a huge political mistake. And I don't think that anyone in Germany is willing to take that risk yet.
Yeah.
But we will see.
Mm.
We're living in interesting times. That's all.
Germany as a country it's gaining political power,
yeah,
but also destroying its own country and citizenship. That's the problem with Germany right now, is that Germans have no real say in the majority of all of this at this point, and it's too late too.
Well, it's never too
Gee,
late.
when did that happen last?
Yeah. And nobody wants to speak about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to say anything in these countries because they're terrified of Merkel. And they should be.
Yep.
Germany has gained the ability to basically control what France does. And now has the ability to bully countries into changing policy that is going to be detrimental to the country.
Well, they are trying to bully countries into accepting their way, and they're failing miserably, because that's what Brexit was all about, and that's Poland's president is putting his foot down and saying no. We're not going to accept that. There's a different situation with what?
He's saying do not want.
Yeah, exactly.
No can has.
So it's yes, I understand what you're trying to say, Artivous, but I'm just saying that they're not gonna
at a point where it remains to be seen.
Yeah. And it's as I said earlier, it's an interesting situation, and it's going to be very interesting to see because the EU might fall on this.
I hate seeing, it's one thing to have one possibility of World War III just sitting out there, powder keg waiting to happen, but it seems like we have 12 at this point.
Yeah.
And if two of them rub each other the wrong way.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't like this point.
And then they all go. They're just lined up like dominoes, and it's just.
Yeah, that's what's so upsetting is if
a circle of dominoes. You know those stars? They're all little powder kegs around the EU.
And like every single one of these little problems that are getting bigger and bigger, and it'd be different if the problems were squashed
Well,
and dealt
it's not
with
that the
quickly,
problems
but
exist.
they're
That
allowed to fester and become so
yeah,
much bigger than they originally were, to the point where
no
now
one is
it's
addressing the problems. It's not that the
yeah,
problems exist; it's that they're not being addressed. They're just being, oh no, that's totally not a problem. Don't pay
just
attention to the
ignore
man
it.
behind the curtain.
Just carry on, Britain. Just carry on. Pay no attention.
Yeah, and Britain didn't do that. Britain said, you know what? No, we see a pattern here. We're getting the fuck out.
Yeah, we were lucky we hadn't adopted the currency or any of the other trappings,
No.
that might have made it more difficult.
Well, I
So,
think
It
that's
may have
because
been the only
the
thing that's
Britons
going to
were
save your country from what's about
cynical
to
about it to
happen.
begin with.
It's going to
I
be
think they were
interesting.
like, well, wait to see what happens before we fully commit to this. And then they went, yeah, I don't think we're going to commit to it anymore. We're out.
no.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens if Denmark and Sweden adopt it, because they may not adopt the euro either. And they are,
Alright, okay.
I think they are the only countries left that haven't adopted the euro.
Hmm.
So, yeah. It's an interesting situation, and the EU is a behemoth that is, it's like the Tower of Babel, basically. They've built something so big that nobody's able to communicate with anyone else.
Yeah.
So it's just going to
It's not a damn trade
fractionate up.
agreement either.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. It used to be about trade. That's what we got into it for. It's not
exactly.
about that anymore. It's far from it.
No, exactly. It's not about trade anymore. It's all about regulation and power, and that's never a good thing. They built something so big and unmanageable that there's no other possibility of it failing unless they reform it drastically. And I mean drastically by allowing nation states to have their own say in their own fucking foreign policy. And interior policy more important than anything. Because the interior policy is far more important. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting situation. You guys want to cover the
We got 5 minutes left.
Yeah,
Emma Solkowitz.
Yeah, the Emma Solkovich
Yeah.
or the Manchester.
You know what?
Let's do the Emma Solkovich thing.
Hold on.
I got to get mine out first. I got the perfect bondage set up for her. You get a mattress and you hollow it out, and then you sew her inside of it and just leave her there.
Here, okay. I have to admit, at this point, I enjoy this woman's suffering. Because it's one of the few times one of these lying social justice types truly got lowered. You see, we were talking about this in chat. If she had gotten away with that false rape claim, she'd be running for office in 10 years.
Well, this is the thing. This is what gets me, is that she is still something of a household name, if you know what I mean.
This is the only way she can survive.
Well, this is the thing. The rags will still pop on anything she does, like fucking.
Because it's pathetic, and they like bloating.
Whoop-de shit. Like, why is this a story kind of thing?
Because it's so few times do the people who try and do this shit and these publicity stunt and false rape claims truly get their comeuppance. It's very rare that they actually get punished.
Yeah.
And she's being punished. This was a girl that had to make porn in order to get attention again. Yeah. This is a girl that is now doing bondage. Like, what's next? Is she like? You have to think this is literally all she can do to survive in terms of make money and get paid, because no one's going to hire her. Her life is ruined. She'll always be mattress girl. She'll always be the girl who lied about a rape.
It's these demonstrations just always strike me as like the shrieking woman. You know that thing that was out the like a little while back where people were. Was that woman who was just shrieking at protesters on a campus or something?
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. Is that you know?
She the only way she can work now is by doing publicity stunts like this.
Hmm.
And the people who, I guarantee the people who literally put her in bondage don't give a shit about her
Yeah.
political beliefs. She's just a publicity stunt for them to get attention for their work.
Hmm.
That's it.
Pretty much.
She's a sideshow fucking freak, and it's glorious because she deserves to be.
Here, I don't think necessarily people within the BDSM environment appreciates to have their fetishes broadcast by a woman known to be a liar.
Or just coupled as like a punishment for a crime that she hasn't actually been punished for. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about that. She's an attention-seeking whore. That's the thing.
Yeah.
She's not necessarily interested in you know getting that environment some sort of understanding. She might actually it's like with the transgender and the transsexual community. It's or not even community, but transsexuals in general. They might not appreciate the fucking attention that the transgenders are drawing to
Okay, I
that
see what you mean.
topic. That's my problem with it. It's that it's just making things worse.
Mm.
It's it's and I don't, as people know, I don't like to talk about people. I'd rather talk about ideas than people. But in this case, she is such a
Poster
empty.
child for this kind of.
She's a poster child of making it personal, making everything personal, making it everything about her instead about the actual
I know.
issues.
It's great.
Yeah,
she would have been a literally who in a second. She would have gone the entire route and made an entire living off of this and been just as horrible culturally as them while being the borderline personality poster child that she is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And instead she has to put herself in bondage just to pay her rent.
Yep.
And call me a vindictive asshole, but it
Okay,
makes
you're
my
a
day a
vindictive
little bit
asshole.
better.
I think
I'm okay with it.
I think that's a good place to end it by
That is.
calling Artivous a vindictive asshole.
Always a good way
Really?
to end this shit.
Racist!
Yeah, right. You racist cracker.
Anyways, that has been the Unsolicited Opinions podcast. I have been your host, Meerkat Monarch. With me, as always, is my friend and co-host Artivous Ira, my friend and current Oslo living person, Usto, and Dr. Evil, our boss and overlord, and of course, Deefry, my editor and very good friend as well. Anyways, that's it from us. Bye-bye, everybody, and good night.
Good night.